There is something quietly extraordinary about a piece of cardboard. Flimsy, disposable, utterly unremarkable, and yet in the hands of a 1940s British schoolboy, it became a classroom, a workshop, and a secret curriculum in the science of war. Welcome to Fieldcraft Chronicles, where today we uncover one of the most fascinating, overlooked chapters of wartime Britain, the humble cardboard toy that didn't just entertain a generation, it quietly engineered one. When the Second World War gripped Britain, resources vanished almost overnight. Metal was melted down for Spitfires, rubber was rationed, and factories were retooled for bomb casings. Yet the British establishment understood something profound. The boys growing up on the home front would soon become the men fighting on the front lines. The answer arrived in innocuous, flat-packed cardboard construction kits, sold cheaply and tucked into the back pages of magazines like Practical Mechanics, handed across school desks as though they were nothing more than rainy afternoon diversions. They were anything but. What made these kits extraordinary was their deliberate design intelligence. A boy assembling what appeared to be a model catapult was, without realizing it, learning the mechanics of tension, trajectory, and load-bearing structure. The folding tabs taught spatial reasoning, the counterweights introduced the physics of leverage, and the spring-loaded launching mechanisms. Those were ballistics lessons dressed in the language of play. Educators of the era knew exactly what they were doing. Britain had emerged from the First World War with officers who lacked technical grounding, relying on courage over calculation. The cardboard toy was a quiet institutional correction, seeding engineering literacy into boys years before they'd ever sit inside a Royal Engineers briefing room. The designs frequently incorporated adjustable angles, mimicking the elevation mechanics of actual artillery pieces. A boy spending an afternoon adjusting his cardboard mortar launcher to hit a tin can across the garden was learning the same angular geometry that Royal Artillery officers applied when zeroing in on enemy positions. Some kits went further, including rudimentary wind correction charts printed directly onto the cardboard, not labeled as ballistic tables, but framed as accuracy guides. The language was deliberately soft. The science was deliberately real. There is a deeper fieldcraft lesson embedded in the very material of these toys. Cardboard was itself a rationed resource in wartime Britain. The fact that educational tools were engineered from it speaks to an extraordinary culture of adaptive thinking, the same culture that taught soldiers to build shelter from whatever the landscape offered and solve problems with ingenuity rather than abundance. This was the spirit that built Anderson shelters in back gardens and strung camouflage netting from hedgerows. Scarcity didn't diminish creativity in wartime Britain. It sharpened it. The boys who grew up with these kits went on to serve in campaigns from North Africa to Normandy, entering service with an intuitive mechanical fluency their instructors couldn't fully explain. A natural ease with angles, weights, and forces. They could estimate a trajectory with confidence that felt almost inherited. It wasn't inherited, it was engineered, one cardboard kit at a time, across a nation quietly preparing its children for whatever came next. Preparedness has never been purely about gear. It has always been about thinking. Developing the kind of mind that solves problems under pressure and builds something functional from almost nothing. Those wartime boys didn't have tutorials or survival apps. They had cardboard curiosity and a culture that took serious pride in practical intelligence. Every time you rig a shelter or improvise a solution in the field, you are part of a lineage stretching back through generations who refuse to be defeated by circumstance. If this piece of forgotten history resonated with you, subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles, and share this video with someone who values history, self-reliance, and the enduring art of survival. This is the knowledge that doesn't fade.